everyone, and welcome. The First Lady of Nigeria, Senator Remi Tinubu, is facing a wave of criticism after suggesting that Nigerians struggling with the country's economic hardship should consider starting small businesses such as selling akara, roasted corn, and kuli-kuli. Her remarks, intended to encourage entrepreneurship and self-reliance, have instead ignited a fierce debate across social media, with many Nigerians accusing the nation's leadership of being disconnected from the realities facing ordinary citizens.
We're trying to give hope, and to start akara business doesn't take a lot of money. To start roasting corn, or somebody even said about grant, you see they're saying that kuli doesn't take much. We didn't give them a loan, we gave it to them as a grant. So we've encouraged Nigerians as best as we could. What is within our hands, I have given, and I keep giving.
The comments came during her address to State House correspondents after the second quarter meeting of the Renewed Hope Initiative with the wives of state governors at the presidential villa in Abuja. Speaking about the initiative's effort to empower vulnerable Nigerians, the First Lady explained that the program provides grants rather than loans to help beneficiaries establish small businesses. According to her, businesses like selling akara, roasting corn, or producing kuli-kuli requires relatively little startup capital, making them practical opportunities for people seeking to earn a living. She stressed that beneficiaries were receiving grants that did not need to be repaid, saying the initiative was designed to restore hope and provide ordinary Nigerians with opportunities to become economically independent. The First Lady also highlighted several interventions undertaken through the Renewed Hope Initiative. She disclosed that she donated 2 billion naira towards the fight against tuberculosis, 1 billion naira for breast cancer interventions, and 500 million naira to combat malnutrition. She further pointed to scholarships, ICT training programs, agricultural support, and various social investment projects aimed at improving the lives of Nigerians. She urged citizens not to lose hope despite the country's economic challenges, insisting that the Renewed Hope agenda remains focused on improving the welfare of Nigerians. According to her, the initiative is doing everything within its capacity to support vulnerable citizens while complementing the policies of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu's administration. However, it was her reference to akara, roasted corn, and kuli-kuli businesses that quickly dominated public conversation. Within hours, clips of her speech spread rapidly across social media platforms, attracting thousands of comments from Nigerians expressing frustration over the state of the economy. For many critics, the issue was not whether selling akara or roasted corn is an honest business. Instead, they argue that such advice fails to address the deeper economic problems confronting millions of Nigerians. Several users accuse the country's political leadership of appearing detached from the financial realities affecting households across the nation. Rising food prices, high inflation, unemployment, declining purchasing power, and increasing business costs remain major concerns for many families. Against that backdrop, critics argue that encouraging people to start roadside food businesses does little to address the structural economic challenges they face. One social media user described the remarks as evidence that Nigeria's ruling class has become disconnected from the daily struggles of ordinary citizens. Another compared the government's empowerment initiatives with private sector programs focused on technology and cybersecurity training, arguing that long-term economic growth requires investments in modern skills capable of generating sustainable employment. Another reactions reflected growing public frustration with the country's economic direction. Some users question whether senior government officials fully understand the scale of hardship confronting millions of Nigerians who continue to battle rising transportation costs, increasing electricity bills, and soaring food prices. Yet, the remarks also found defenders. Several Nigerians argue that there is absolutely nothing wrong with encouraging small-scale entrepreneurship. They pointed out that countless families across Nigeria have built successful businesses selling akara, roasted corn, and other local foods. Some noted that such businesses have funded university education, built homes, purchased cars, and supported entire households for decades. Supporters maintain that every successful business begins somewhere, and that many large entrepreneurs started with modest capital before expanding into larger enterprises. They argue that there should be no shame attached to honest labor, regardless of the size of the business. Others, however, attempted to bridge both perspectives. Some commentators argue that the controversy is less about the businesses themselves and more about the timing of the message. They acknowledge that selling akara, roasted corn, or kulikuli can indeed be a profitable venture. Nevertheless, they suggested that Nigerians currently expect broader discussions about job creation, economic recovery, industrial growth, and measures to reduce the rising cost of living. According to this view, many citizens are asking government leaders for policies that create a stronger economy where small businesses, manufacturers, traders, and professionals alike can thrive. In that context, advising people to sell roadside snacks struck some listeners as insufficient given the scale of Nigeria's economic challenges. The debate has also revived wider conversations about communications from public officials. Political analysts often note that in periods of economic hardship, even well-intentioned statements can be interpreted differently depending on public mood. Messages intended to inspire hope may instead generate criticism if citizens believe their immediate concerns are not being fully acknowledged. For the Tinubu administration, this latest controversy comes at a time when public attention remains firmly focused on inflation, unemployment, fuel prices, and the overall cost of living. Many Nigerians continue to evaluate government policies based on how they affect their daily lives rather than on official announcements alone. The First Lady's remarks therefore have become part of a much larger national conversation about leadership, about economic policy, and the expectations citizens have of those in public office. While the Renewed Hope initiative continues to provide grants and social support programs across different sectors, reactions to this latest statement demonstrate how sensitive discussions surrounding the economy have become. Every public comment made by government officials is now closely scrutinized by Nigerians searching for signs that their leaders understand the pressures they face every single day. Whether viewed as practical entrepreneur advice or as evidence of a disconnect between government and the public, one thing is clear: the First Lady's comments have sparked another nationwide debate about economic hardship, dignity of labor, and the kind of leadership Nigerians expect during one of the country's most challenging economic periods. As the conversation continues online and across the country, many Nigerians are likely to judge not only the words spoken by public officials, but also the tangible economic improvements they hope to see in their everyday lives. Ultimately, while opinions may differ from the First Lady's remarks, the overwhelming message emerging from this debate is that citizens want lasting solutions that improve livelihoods, expand opportunities, and restore confidence in Nigeria's economic future. If you find this report insightful, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe, and turn on your notification so you don't miss out on our daily reports. I am Cassie Tony, and many thanks for watching.